explain my righteousness and how it's the righteousness from God and it's the appropriate righteousness. It's not the same as somebody being self-righteous. Okay, it is a universal righteousness, a moral precision. Let's think about the story of Lot. Okay, basically, angels came to visit Lot, and the people in Sodom, okay, wanted to abuse these angels sexually. And Lot even offered his daughters. He said, take my daughters instead. This is key when you think in terms of them raising their children to shun me versus Lot, in the name of God, would be willing to tell his daughters to go out and sleep with these ruffian scoundrels instead of abusing these angels. That's how much he valued God. He wouldn't dream of raising his daughters to shun men of God. Pretty straightforward. So knowing that I'm right about this, a sort of righteous indignation, a sort of moral outrage is kindled in a sense all the time, and certainly sparked sometimes by the things I observe. Angels are depicted in a certain way that they're spiritual beings. They sense things. So they sensed the spirit, they saw the response, and they were right to the point. They said, these people did this, and this city is going to be destroyed. It's going to be destroyed by the fury of God's presence. Okay. So when God's presence comes into contact with things, it destroys them. So when we look at this sort of scientifically, logically, and remove the spiritual component, okay, when a righteous man who believes that righteousness comes from somewhere, whether he's right or wrong, to be diplomatic, obviously I know he's right. Okay, I know I'm right. He comes into contact with wickedness. He feels a righteous indignation. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to flip out and start killing people. He says, what do I do? The smart guy, the wise guy, doesn't just kill the first scoundrel he sees. He starts breaking it down for everyone to see. This is why they're wrong, and I'm trying to heal and correct them, because on some level they lack the brain function to be right. They didn't get their thoughts together. Their thoughts are to get her and make the mistake, but they didn't get their thoughts together. You know, having no children that I know of, I'm like God's chosen King of Kings and the Father of all people, okay, in a sense. But they can rebel and be kicked out of heaven. So the way I'm mad is not the same as an ego-filled person saying, oh, I'm superior to you, rabble, get out of here kind of thing. Okay, I'm saying correct yourselves. Okay, and once they've done something, they can't be reversed. Say you killed your sister or something. Okay, you know, I said, this cannot be reversed. This will always be there. But now do what you can. So when you meet your maker, you'll have a certain kind of argument that you can make, a certain way about you, have certain deeds under your belt, right? Be redeemed, okay? Try to redeem yourself. You need a redeemer. You need a valid leader who says, this is how we're going to allocate these resources. This is how we're going to do this. This is how we love each other, okay? So basically, I love people in a way that isn't unconditional is one way to look at it. They have to serve God. The source of love goes through me, and I say obey so you can see that love and be loved and receive love and go back to the source of love. I don't put very much value on this world. I don't say these things so I get public recognition, okay? You know, I'd be more fine with having enough following to reach out to a bunch of people and bring them to God than I would be being the most famous celebrity on the planet and not bring them to God, okay? That's not my goal. I'm not in it for fame or money or a bunch of hot chicks, okay? I want to bring people to God, and I want one woman to love one woman, okay? Now we think about different women, okay? There's attractive women, so this has to do with righteousness too, okay? Let's try to shoot through this. There's the attractive jogging woman. There's a kind of short, kind of fragile. I'll get to this part too.